think like 100 bob or 150, like that cheap. At 8 in the morning. I'm like, oh, I think this is the time someone proposes. Oh, and guess what? That was it. He never proposed. Like, I don't know, the ring kneeling down, or so he was like, okay. How can you be there without money? And why do you have this small phone? Hey guys, how are you today? How is everyone? I hope everyone is safe, happy, and healthy. So, today it's Throwback Thursday. Yeah. So, I've been thinking about schools today. Reason being, my daughter is changing school from the current school to a new school because of distance. Where we are right now, it's far from her school. So we are forced to change school. But that made me think of my high school life. Let's talk about high school. My goodness. So, for those who know me, you know where I went to. I'll not tell you the name, but I know most of you know the school. But this school was the best school in Rwanda that time. And I think I really enjoyed my high school. So, for those who don't know, my school, my former high school, so this was the only international school in Rwanda that time. And I remember joining, and when I was joining, my brother was so worried. Reason being, that school was a famous one in terms of like indiscipline. And when my brother got to know that, I got a, I was joining that school, he was like, oh my goodness. So this girl already, she's so stubborn, and now we are taking her to a school that is indiscipline. That's how they used to call it. I don't know. I think they'll like suspend her or expel her in like a week or a month. Like, I don't know how she's going to survive there, but I don't think this is a good move for her. But me, I didn't know. I was fresh from Uganda and I was so stubborn. And my brother was like, I don't think this is the right school for her. And the reason why I went to that school, it's because I was from Uganda. I was not speaking Kinyarwanda. I was not speaking French. So the best option was that school that was affordable, but again, it was the international school, English speaking school. Rwanda being a French country that time, so English schools were not so many. So this one school, it used to have all kinds of nationalities. It had Ugandans, it had Tanzanians, it had Burundian, it had Kenyans, it had, of course, even Rwandese. That's why I think they called it international. But okay, the name was international. So I remember joining in senior 2. And the school itself was beautiful. Structure-wise, it was beautiful. So joining, I remember we had this cool headmaster. This cool headmaster. Everyone loved this guy. He was so outgoing. He was so nice. He would talk to you like you've not done anything wrong, and then later they suspend you. Like, he was just cool. He would find you in doing something silly and he would stand and laugh with you. Like, he was just a sweet guy. Like, all the students loved the guy. So he made it really nice for the students because it was not so complicating things. I remember at some point, before I start the entire story, I remember at some point parents started complaining. Oh, the kids, like, we used to do all sorts of things. And at some point, because that time Rwanda was too much of Francophone, the Anglophone people used to feel so special in a way. So I remember One time, this, like, we used to strike almost every day, but that is after when this guy left. So let's go back. So I joined the school, and it was so cool to the extent we used our uniforms used to be dark blue, the skirt, and a white shirt, of course. So students were allowed to dress in a short skirt as long as you're comfortable with it. You, the student, as long as you're comfortable with it, you would wear as short as you can. So we used to wear short skirts, whereby when you're bending, you cannot bend. You have to squat to pick something. It was that short. And it was for every student. I remember this headmaster, one time he met a Muslim lady who was wearing, Muslims, how they are so decent. She was wearing her long skirt. Of course, as a Muslim, you would say and tell that this is a Muslim, like covered, proper Muslim. So this guy tells the guy, looks at the girl, and he was like, here we are not raising old women. That is too long. You need to go and reduce it. It's too long. And he was that cool, like cool. So as we used to have tight, short skirts with a slit at the back. And you see students and you wonder, is this a school or it's a bar or something? And then we used to have cool teachers also, because teachers were all from different countries. We used to have teachers from Uganda, a few from Rwanda, mostly from Uganda. And they were so cool. They were so outgoing. And we used to study French. Of course, we're in a French country, so we used to study French as a lesson. But now, there was this special thing about French. So all of us, most of us, never used to love French at all. So we had this French teacher who was a bit short, because, yes, he was short. And he was, he was from Congo. He was so good with French, I think he was the only French teacher. So in our class, people do history, geography, blah, 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 blah. It used to have all the stubborn people in the school, in all classes. Like, I don't know why, because people do mathematics or biology, blah, blah, blah. They are always decent, they're always quiet, they're always humble. But people who do history and geography and, oh my goodness. So we had this French guy. He would come in class with his books, and then he comes. Remember, we didn't like French at all. But again, we are not allowed to miss the classes. So you're forced to be in class. You're not getting anything. The class itself is boring, and it used to be after lunch when everyone is dozing. Like, it used to torture us. We used to hate it so much. So I remember most of the times we used to plan on how to torture the teacher. This poor guy. So the guy would come, but now he had his own weakness. He used to admire. He used to look at students like, because remember, our skirts were too short. So he would look at these skirts, and then he gets confused. He forgets what he was saying. He forgets what he was supposed to do. So people noticed that, this guy is, when it comes to skirts, he's distracted a lot. Guess what we used to do? So the guy comes. There's this particular person, I'll not say her name, but she used to make my French lesson entertained, and I'll never forget her. So we used to have this girl. She would, of course, as everyone else, she was wearing a short skirt. And now for her, she was this beautiful person, so outgoing, and then so like slayer. She used to slay a lot, by the way. So this guy comes, every time he comes to class, we used to set him up with this girl to distract him so that we are able to, miss class. So one time, this one thing he used to do. So he would come to class, puts his books on the table, says hi to us, and then he's like, "Who can rub the blackboard?" There's this one person that we used to say, da, da, da. I'll not say her name. Let's call her. Let's give her a name. Which name? My goodness. Let's give her Jane. Would say, "Jane, go rub the blackboard." She would wake up in a sexy way, and then walks, models up to the blackboard, and then start rubbing like this, shaking her bum bum. And remember, her skirt is short, shaking her bum bum, rubbing, and this guy would stare like the entire class would know that this guy is not here, he's in another world. So he would stare, and then you find like by the time he comes back, the entire class is laughing. So of course he knew that our particular class was so disturbing and so silly and so funny. So I think at some point he used to enjoy it. So another time would he would come, and then we tell that Jen to go receive him from the door before he enters. So Jen goes like, "Oh, monsieur," um, in French, because she used to speak a few words of French. "Oh, you're welcome," in French. She carries his books, comes, and then he'll have this big smile. This big smile, like up to the ears. Then she takes the books, they walk in, put them on the table. Then, of course, she'll get the dustbin, the duster, starts rubbing the blackboard, cleaning the blackboard, and the guy would. And after the lesson, the kagao Jen would take the books, walk him out, and the guy would feel special. There's a time we used to tell him, Monsieur, we are not today. We are not in the mood. We are so stressed. We have exams. We have this big test. Like we used to lie to him all the time, because you used to find like in the class we used to be like 50 something, 52. You find out of 52, when it's French time, they're like 20 something students. Most of them, I don't know where they used to be hiding, because if they found you outside during class hours, you're in trouble. So they used to hide. But this guy used to make our day. Like, I'm telling you, during the national exams, no one, I repeat, no one passed French. We all failed, like F, F, F. Because whoever managed to get something, I think they were in their 40s, and those were the best. But again, we never used to study it. We were just there torturing the poor guy. So, anyways, with time, things changed. Parents were complaining a lot. Every weekend, you would find cars parked outside the gate, picking people to go out for a weekend. Every weekend. So it started becoming, the school became like, I don't know, a story to parents complaining. These kids are always out now for me. So with time, I think when I was in senior 3, I started music. I'll take you through my music journey. So I started music. Remember, we had a cool headmaster. So I would have a concert outside, and I just got whoever was in charge of permissions. "Oh, I have a concert," because the headmaster told them whenever she has a concert, always let her go. They need to do things outside this school. Like whoever has a talent, we should give them permission and time to build their talents. So I was among the people who had talents. See, so I would go out anyhow as long as I've told someone in charge of permissions to give me a written permission that I'm going for a concert. So I would go out for concerts a lot. So there's this one time the headmaster, yes, so me, I used to go out for concerts a lot. Sometimes I used to lie when I just want to go out for a weekend. Not a weekend like partying. I never used to part, though I was so stubborn, but I never used to part. I never used to drink. I never used to, like, I was just stubborn by words, but action-wise, I never used to be a bad girl. I was so down to earth. I was a good girl because back home, my brother had warned me a billion times that they call me one day, one day, that they are going to expire you or what, or you've done something, you'll be in trouble. So I used to be a good girl for my brother. But again, I would go out to perform. There's this one time I met my brother out, and yet he's expecting me to be at school. But I was like, I had a concert. And he's like, when do you study? And this concert and school, I don't understand. He was so pissed, by the way. He was so pissed. And then he used to worry a lot that, oh, this girl, I don't know. She's so much into music. I don't know if she'll ever finish school. And I remember he used to tell me that, you know what? I don't mind you doing music at all. I really like you to do something that you want, but school first. So if you don't want to study, at least can you do it for me? The moment you give me my paper and you've passed very well, after senior 6, I'll give up on you. I'll let you do whatever you want. If you want to do music, I'll even support you. But right now, I need you to focus on school and finish up high school. So it's like I used to do it for him because, I was a teenager. I didn't know the value of school. I felt like, I can get away with it and survive in this world. Teenagers, how they think. But now at some point, I really loved my brother so much. So I really wanted to do this for him so that, he gives up on me and I do my own things. So, but again, it doesn't mean that I would not go out to do music. I used to go out to do music. It's just, I would know how to balance my things. So, anyways, time came, parents were complaining a lot. Oh, the kids wear too short skirts. Oh, every Friday you find cars parked outside picking girls and boys going out. Oh, like a lot of complaints, to the extent the local government had to interfere. And I remember our headmaster started having a lot of problems because now they were putting rules for him to follow to make sure the school, is going in this direction, not the direction the headmaster was taking the school in. So it became a problem. And I remember at some point, like, I'm summarizing the entire story. I remember at some point, the headmaster, I think he resigned or they changed him. One of the two, I don't remember. But anyways, he left. Oh, we were not happy. We were not happy. I remember we went on strike. We want our headmaster back. And we made plans. Whoever comes in, we make it so hard for him. So hard for him to, manage the school so that they can bring back our old headmaster. But nothing worked. But anyways, we went on strike. It didn't work. They called the police. The police managed us. We complained. Because I think that time they gave us like a month or 2 months without a headmaster. So after a few months, 2 or 1, a new headmaster came in. Now this new headmaster was a simple guy, very cool, Not cool in a way of like letting us wear short skirts, no. Cool in a way like he's so humble, he's so organized, he's so responsible and strict, like he was a bit older than the other one. So he was not a superstar to us, and we didn't like him. Not that he's a bad person, but because he's not outgoing and maybe he's following all the rules they are giving him. And yet this guy, the first headmaster for him, he used to fight back on our behalf. So this one is here to implement whatever whatever they tell him. So we didn't like that. Do you know there's a time these students, I was not part of them. I'm telling you, in dramas, I was never there. Because I had my brother on my back, so I could not afford being caught into something that will make my brother come at school. No, I would just stay away. So I remember there's this one time, I don't know who, but I know it was a group of boys. They organized. Remember, we have a new headmaster or principal. They organized, went, poured beans and posho or ugali in his office. Don't ask me how they got the key. Don't ask me how they managed to get that much ugali or posho, but they did and poured in his office. So in the morning, the guy comes to work. Opening the door, he finds beans, ugali, smelling because they had poured it at night. So the entire night it was there. And remember, the office is closed, so there's no air coming in and going. The guy opened, found ugali and beans. He was pissed. So now, of course, we had to go for parade, and he was so pissed. He was like, we need to come forward, whoever did this. If you don't, da, da, da. And no one came forward. I'm telling you, they suspended a lot of students. Those that were famous in strikes and such things, they suspended them. But again, no one came forward because all of us were supporting each other, however much we are not part of it. But again, we wanted our guy back, and they were giving us this guy who is taking all the rules in, and we are not happy at all. For your information, once he came in, he was so strict on our skirts. So he forced us to wear long skirts, and we used to hide from him. Some of us were big-headed. Oh, me, I don't want to change my skirt. So you would wear it and then start hiding from him. My goodness. Time came. He enforced the skirt thing, and he would see you with a short skirt. He tells you to go home immediately, and then he tells you to come back with a parent. And some of us, we cannot afford to come back at school with a parent. So you would be forced to change your skirt immediately. So that school, it was the best school. Like, we used to have parties. Was it every end of the month? And now this is what they used to do. But these kids were so stubborn. So every Tuesday and Thursday or Friday, they used after supper, they used to switch off lights, like the entire school. Don't ask me who used to do that, because up to now I don't know who. Of course, it was among the boys, because girls cannot do such a thing. It was among the boys. So we used to have a timetable when power goes off and what time it comes back. And reason being, these people wanted to go in dark corners. Do you know dark corners? Now that is the time they used to, go do things. I don't know exactly what, because I was never in dark corners. But we suspect they used to go out for, not out, like out of the dormitories, be with their lovers, talk. Those who used to smoke, because we used to have people smoking the thingy. So those who used to smoke the thingy would smoke. And it was known that every Tuesday and Thursday or Friday, power used to go off. And no one knows why exactly. But you would find at the corners of all class blocks, you would find couples. And then you're forced also to date, because now everyone around you is dating. By the way, we used to have couples that were known in school. Known. And that time of dating, or that time of Tuesday and Thursday or Fridays, some people would even get visitors in their dormitories. Yes, they used to. But now, as some of us were a bit younger, okay, because remember this started when we are in like senior 3. So those people above us, senior 5 and senior 6, they used to have visitors at a certain time at night, because the entire school used to know the couples in school. Like, we used to know this is a couple, this is a couple, this, like, it was a normal thing. I don't know right now how the schools are when it comes to dating, or if it's still something. I don't know how it goes, but that time, our time, it was something. And I remember we used to have this outburst something where they put the best couple of the month, the best entertainer of the month, the best something. So that's how we used to know the best couples. And of course, you used to see them, in dark corners. You see them visiting each other. You see them like, oh my goodness. That school was the best. Okay, if you ask me right now, I cannot take my child there. Knowing what I know now, I cannot. But that time, as we really enjoyed. So anyways, we used to strike a lot. It was the only school in Rwanda that used to strike. Can you imagine? It was the only school. Because I remember whenever we used to strike, they used to call the police. Because most of the times not most of the times, we had so many international students. So having international students, it means they come with different characters. And it was not the only, but the main English speaking school. So everyone in Rwanda who came from whoever they were coming from, they used to bring their kids to that school, especially when the kids don't speak French. It doesn't mean it was the best school. It was not the best school, but it was the best school in English. So as I said, we used to strike a lot. They used to call the police a lot. That's why with time they started changing headmasters like almost after 6 months, because now there's even this one there's even this one time the new headmaster they brought, he came, spent like a month. He realized, okay, I cannot manage this school. It's too much. Because Rwanda, that time people were not too exposed. So they would come, they see how the students are, and they're like, okay, no, I don't need this, and I've never seen this. I can't. So there's this one guy who left after a month because he couldn't. But there was this one guy I heard he died recently, like last year, I think. Rest in peace. He used to lead all the strikes, in school. We even striked on food, like our, boarding schools. That time, we used to eat posho and beans every day. So this school, they changes the school fees, added like 20K that time, and then the food was still the same. So this guy comes say, no. The school fees cannot be this high and we are still eating the same food. We have to strike. We went for strike. Ooh, they brought the police. They had to cool us down. The good thing, the police never used to use tear gas, because in other countries they used tear gas. It never used to use tear gas. It would, talk to us, control us. Of course, there used to be many, maybe like 15 or 20. And again, we were scared seeing a police person. Of course, they would talk to us, we cool down, and then we talk, we explain why we are striking, da, 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 da. They say they're going to talk to our leaders, da, 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 da. But again, remember, this is a high school, not even a campus. So we had to strike. This guy, they had to change our menu, and from ugali from posho and beans to maybe rice, maybe potato, Irish sweet potato. Yeah, so we started eating like rich people that time, but all because of the students. But I'm telling you, this school was the best. We had fun. If you remember, I know on my Facebook page I have so many obis and ogis. Kindly chat me if you remember, and what used to make you love that school, what you loved so much about that school, and what you remember in high school that you will never forget. Comment and let's laugh together. So I enjoyed my high school. Of course, for your information, I passed very well. So remember, I was studying for my brother who wanted the paper. So I managed to pass very well, and I got a scholarship, government scholarship. Yes, I did. Yes, government scholarship. No one expected that. And the funny thing, in that school, we had, remember I told you it was international. So we had groups. So my group was the Wagande, which I used to hate so much. The word. The Wagande means people from Uganda. So, of course, we are people from Uganda, but Rwandese. You know that is a common thing in Rwanda. Because of the genocide, most people moved out, da 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 da. That is a story for another day. So they used to describe us as the Bagande. And the Bagande, all of them passed with flying colors. And I was so happy, because I remember everyone, like in school, they used to call us Abagande, and then there's a way they used to underlook us. I don't know why, because I think because we used to speak a lot of Luganda, like a lot of Luganda, and at some point they would feel like kabisa we are Ugandans, and yet we are Rwandese, like 100% Rwandese, most of us at least. So I used to hate that word, by the way. Even now I still hate it so much. I'm proudly Rwandese. I love my country. I love who I am, and I believe all of you would love to be Rwandese right now. So they used to call us Bagande, and I hated it so much. But again, we used to have fun. We had our group of Bagande, and we knew each other. We used to visit each other a lot back home in holidays. Like, it was fun. Up to now, most of us, we are still in touch, which is a good thing. And we were together a lot of times. I remember this one time, close to our senior 6 exams, we used to study together, and we had this one friend of ours. I will not say the name. I will not. But he was so entertaining that we would study at night. I study, and then he says, "Oh, pause. We need to dance." We'd put on music. We start dancing for like an hour, and it was just fun. I think I would love my child to enjoy her high school. Grace, Grace, you guys want to come in? You guys want to come in? A minute. She's crying. Minute. Hi, mommy. Oh, hi, Mama. Okay. Hi, 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 hi. So, would study, then in the middle of studying, because now we are close to exams, in the middle of studying, would start dancing, and it used to be fun. The part that I love the most, all of us, I think, like in that group, we all got scholarships in different universities. Yes, Mama. Sure, sure, in different universities, and it was fun. Sure. So, guys, my boss has said I should stop here. I'll see you next time. I need to go take care of her. I'm sorry. So I'll see you next time. If you're my Ogie, my Obi, please chat me up and tell us what you miss in high school. See you next time. Bye-bye.